Oh, welcome back my gardening friends. Well, it's time to have a tidy up. I've removed all the wheelie bins from there, moved them out the way, in the way somewhere else. Found that I'd been storing all sorts in there. You'll see that shortly. I need to move these, get them down to the recycle area for others to use. If they don't disappear, I'll just cut the ends off for the lids. And then we'll empty the perennial weeds because it's quite heavy, so I'll just have to dump it on the floor, and then we can work along here and get these pallet collars all sorted out. I've got my Picassos in one of the bins in a cloth sack, and I've had a tidy up elsewhere, and I've put it all down to the recycling area, reuse, repurpose. It's surprising how quickly it goes. Don't like putting stuff down here sometimes that I might be able to use in the future, but it's in the way. Never mind, somebody else will get the use out of it. If not, after a couple of weeks I'll reassess or get it to the tip. So as he wipes a tear from his eye, let's have a little look in the perennial weeds bin. This is where the weeds are soaked in water initially. These are the perennial weeds, the roots, the things that we don't like to put in the compost bin. It's a great way of getting some lovely worm castings and compost. So normally it's got water in, but it's been a long time now, and as you can see there's some nice worm castings on the top. Lots of creatures there mooching about. I don't know how they get in, but they must come in on the actual weeds. So let's get it tipped out. Doesn't look so pretty when you tip it over, and of course it absolutely stinks. But I presume this is the bottom bit that was in the bottom, or was that the top? I don't know. But it's a lot of the red wrigglers in there, and a lot of this material is all now rotted down. There's other big bits in there, but I'm safe now to pop this into the compost. It's really wet. Nothing alive. And I can pop this now into the bin with the red wrigglers. Don't know what that is. I will investigate. It's got roots on it. I thought it was a stone, but yeah, it's well worth taking the time to drown your weeds. I'll just try and switch the tablet off now with dirty fingers. They're actually bulbs. You'd have thought they would have rotted, but they're from the wildflower garden when we dismantled that to create those other pallet collar beds. So I'll get this into the compost bin, which is now getting rather full. Had a bit of a tidy up at home, and it won't be long before I have to create the temporary compost bins back on plot 3 for the rest of the winter, so that all rots down nicely, and it looks like I've got to empty the compost bin, worm bin runoff again. Pop that onto the leaf mould. That's topped up all nicely, and it will continue to sink and probably be a third down by the time we harvest them February, March, to start the process all over again. We managed to get wood chips this year, so we topped everything up, and this is what it looked like. Horrible to walk on, but these wood chips now are breaking down really nicely, and I will be harvesting some of the wood chips to add to the soil in the pallet collars. With the compost that we find, we've got clay balls in these. I'm going to have a couple of these pallet collars full of these, but I will add a bit of soil and any other amendments. We're not sure to compost. There's 3,800 litres here. I did sift a bit in a previous video to show people what it can look like, and that's the rubbish, but this rubbish can go in the compost bin, or it can be added to the lower layers of the pallet collars. Give something for the worms to enjoy, with layers of manure as well. Managed to get some more manure with a couple of bags, and it won't be long before we have to harvest the liquid again. I've got this on two sides. The manure runoff bin's now been moved to here, nice and close. I've put a piece of sheeting on the top to stop any water getting in. Looks like this one's nearly overflowing. The manure does keep giving, even though this hasn't had anything added for a while. Mushrooms, spiders and all sorts in there. Poor old Mandamoos, gone rotten. This giant Swede's gone rotten. My best Swede's gone rotten. Be time to top these beds up soon. Parsnip, gone rotten, but it's all good compost. This is my Bocking 14 Comfrey. I won't harvest anymore. We'll let it grow, build those crowns, build those roots, so it gives me a nice crop next year. And this is the Comfrey that can escape. It does escape, but we keep pulling it to one side, keep pulling it out. But this will go to let it do its own thing. I will take the seed heads off though. And there's the volunteer that's growing in the Desiree potatoes. Just noticed a few things been moving around. I might have to leave him a little bit of cake. Naughty rats. There is a playlist that'll be on the end, homemade liquid plant foods, compost mixes and activators. Well worth a look. See how I used to do things before, as it loses focus. There's my Comfrey pipe. I haven't used that this time. I haven't done any Comfrey in water, which is that one. And I did trim all the nettles back. Because I trimmed them, the mower man mowed it all. Ah dear. But hopefully I won't trim them this year. Keep the mower man away. The council mower man mowed the lot down and kept it tidy. I thought I was doing good, but I did bad in the end. Never mind. So this is where I've been putting my Comfrey this year. Just been loading it, absolutely everything, and I've got this amount. So let's do a little reveal of what we get left. I can't see anything, guys. I hope you can. I hope there's something in there. But no, I've doubled the amount of concentrate. That'll be done at 1 to 40, 1 to 20, depending on what I'm feeding. It's still quite moist and quite smelly, but the concentrate doesn't smell like the steeped, which helps my plot neighbours. But as you can see there, the net has kept itself really quite clean, so that it can escape without getting blocked up. Right, hold my breath, pop that in the bin. As always, one job leads to another. You then tend not to finish the job you wanted to start. But you can see there lots and lots of the stalks. I think the worms all love that. This is the manure runoff that's probably 2 or 3 years old now, so I'm going to use that religiously and put all the fresh into this bin. So anybody that has manure delivered to site, you lose all this, so it's really well worth having something to catch it. And I use an old bottom half of an IBC that's gone rotten on top. Absolutely ideal. Another job I've got to do before I carry on. Hope you found that interesting. A thumbs up or a thumbs down before you leave today, please, if you would. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you do. Share it with others. And why not consider subscribing. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.